Just screwing with the wrong people.
Alright guys, welcome to the Air Raid Lord and my friend Jack, who is not here right now, but he will be. Welcome to our Walking Dead review vlogs. I did these back for the second half of Season 4 when I actually got into The Walking Dead. And now I am back for the explosiveness, no pun intended, that is Season 5 of The Walking Dead. I am back, I got a new intro. A little shorter, just because, last time when I had the full Walking Dead theme song for Season 4 vlogs, I got copyright things, and it was annoying. So, I made it shorter, just straight to the point. You want to hear the review, you don't want to see freaking floating images like I did last time. So, let's get to the episode. You guys, anyone who's clicking on this video is probably as, their heart's racing, they're freaking, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good place to start because I know there needs to be some sort of flow for me reviewing the episode, because I usually give it a rating at the end and try to give my honest thoughts and be critical of it, even though I did really like watching the freaking destruction and mayhem. So, obviously, this episode, there was a lot of build-up because they were, Rick and his group were left in that train car, and there was, obviously a month, there were lots of months waiting, trying to figure out what was going to happen to them. Obviously, there were a lot of theories that the people from Terminus were cannibals. I think that was pretty much confirmed in this episode, considering they were chopping people up, and there were meat cleavers and giant fucking sacks of humans everywhere, and yeah, so let me just say this overall, okay? Overall, things I'm just thinking right now, alright? Things I can just say right now. I am surprised that they got rid of Terminus so quickly, okay? Now, what I mean by that is that, think of Woodbury with the governor, okay? Now, that dragged out, freaking all of Season 3 that dragged out. And it wasn't something that happened in one episode. It was gradual. The deaths happened because of certain things and the governor's craziness and just things that kind of, one thing led to another, and that was really what happened. And, some people actually criticized the show for going that path with being more, like, slow, slow. The second half of Season 4, people definitely thought it was slow because there was just a lot of character development, people talking, everyone hashing out their feelings, getting stuff off their chest, and people, no, I want a tank battle, and I want to see people get stabbed and shot, and, all the action and gore that people love with the show. I agree to an extent. I did think that some of the the later episodes in Season 4 were a little slow, but I think that they were necessary to build up the characters that we're dealing with now. But to get back to my point, they got rid of Terminus fast, man. Like, they had two flashbacks. Obviously, this is spoilers. I mentioned this in the description. This is spoilers for people who didn't see the episode. The episode is called No Sanctuary, by the way. That's the name of this episode, No Sanctuary. And so, there's two flashback clips to Gareth and I think his friend Alex, the one who got shot in the end of Season 4, actually. Yeah, they're in the train car that Rick is in, and they are. It's basically what's happening to them in the past is what is going to what was supposed to happen to Rick and his group. Basically, them being held hostage, probably killed and chopped up into little bits, and basically eaten alive. Probably I'm assuming what was supposed to happen. But yeah, it went quick. Like, they jumped. Like, basically, Tyrese and Carol didn't even know. So they're walking towards Terminus with Judith. They don't even know that Terminus is a bad place. I thought they were building up that Walker army to take them down. But I guess they were just following them, and then they just so happened to hear this guy talking about the fact that they captured the people, and they were, fortunately, I guess, right there, so that they could intervene and take that rocket, which fucking blew blew that gas tank up, which was the epic explosion we saw from the trailer. That was badass. There were so many great destruction scenes, man. There was so much. Oh my god, there was so much gore, Freaking, like, three dudes simultaneously. Their jugulars were just cut with a fucking machete, 3 in a row when they were tipped over the basin. It was just like, hit him with the baseball bat, cut, hit him with, like, it was, oh my god, it was intense. Like, those people don't fuck around. The Terminus people, yeah, they don't fuck around. However, I think Rick's group is a little bit more, considering what Carol did, and completely, almost single-handedly taking out that base. She freaking fired a rocket at that gas canister, and then covered herself in zombie guts and led the entire horde into Terminus, and so that they were overwhelmed. Oh my god, this episode, man, it happened so fast. And it was funny, you actually have this brief conflict with Tyrese. I'm not sure if anyone picked this up. Tyrese is actually having trouble killing people, if you can believe it, because at the beginning of the episode, he's like, no, I don't want to, and then that guy that they had, chained up, supposedly, and then he got loose, and freaking, he tried to get Tyrese to kill himself by going out into the walkers, and, yeah, oh my god, I was so pissed. I saw him with the knife with the baby, and I was like, oh, you motherfucker, you better not, But yeah, so I think Tyrese kind of conquered that fear, considering he just fucking smashed the shit out of that guy, and then they later confirmed that he killed him, so. Yeah, so that was a pretty interesting conflict they had, and then, dude, I mean, there's just way too many action scenes to just talk about, like, Rick held that broken piece of wood and freaking jumped the guys, like, everything kind of happened in synchronization, Carol took down the base, the guys got overrun. I kind of think Terminus was going to be overrun, I think, regardless. Well, maybe not necessarily as much as they were, because there was a pretty large zombie horde, or walker horde, I guess you could say, coming towards them. Even, that obviously destroying the gas tank and opening up the floodgates, or the gates, allowed this whole ambush, but there was a pretty sizable invasion, despite, even just, regardless of that, that whole extra fire and stuff that attracted the zombies. So honestly, I think, they would have had their hands full regardless. I mean, maybe Terminus could have handled it with the fucking firearms and people that they had, but, yeah, so, Carol was like a one-man wrecking crew. She was taking out people, disguising herself. There was that scene where she went in the room and she got Daryl's crossbow, and I think, did she pick up Michonne's katana? I don't know, I forget, but she probably did. I mean, they wouldn't let Michonne go without a katana. I mean, come on, it's Michonne. That's her signature weapon. So let's see. So yeah, there was, as I've been saying for the past couple of minutes, and I've said it 100 times at this rate, there was a lot of destruction. A lot of destruction in this episode. I loved it. One of my favorite scenes is when Rick sneaks up on the guy, stabs him, takes his AK-47, and he has like a few controlled bursts, like fire, 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 and it's almost like I made this joke when I was watching the episode with my brother. I said, oh, he must have had auto aim on, because he was just snapping to his target, snap, 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 just fucking shot, just those guys dropped. I mean, obviously we saw that in the trailer. I wish they hadn't spoiled that. If they hadn't spoiled that, because that scene is in the trailer, the season 5 trailer. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I kind of wish they didn't spoil it, because that was a pretty epic scene. And then Rick turns, you see his face with his hair. It's like, okay, yeah, this guy means business. He ripped Joe's throat out in the season 4 finale, and he's freaking mowing down people, just willy nilly now. Yeah, Rick's back. Rick's back. Yeah, he's doing things. He's doing things and stuff. Yeah. But yeah. So I think people overall will be happy with this episode because it was action based. There was zombies attacking, ripping people's faces off. Terminus was just completely overrun. You had a pretty emotional scene from that woman Mary who was serving up the burgers, the human burgers, I think. And so I guess you kind of figure out what Terminus is all about, which is weird because Terminus is done. Like, they're leaving Terminus. The previews for next week showed Father Gabriel, who is a character from the comics, and they are going there because I guess they believe that he's the one who took Beth, I'm assuming. Because there was that scene in the beginning where Daryl explains that she was taken by the car with the cross on it and blah, 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 blah. So I suspected that they would be going back to that place to find Beth. They want the whole group together, which, by the way, that was a very happy reunion with Judith and Carl and Rick. That was, I was waiting for that for a while, and we finally got it, so that was pretty cool. I guess now it makes sense as to why Carol and Tyrese didn't reach Terminus, because that was the biggest unanswered question in Season 4. Everyone else had made it to Terminus except them, and I was like, well, what's going to happen? Are they going to hear the gunfire and they're going to do something? Are they going to reach Terminus and be taken captive too? Like, what's going to happen kind of thing, you know? I can't imagine what they do to a baby. I mean, what? You can't even eat a baby. It's so small. Like, what the hell? Like, I'm sure the show would never do that, but my God. At least that didn't happen. At least, you know, Terminus, big smoldering fireball, and we got this, which was really weird. All right, if you're watching this on cable television, all right, you watch the episode. Fucking Chris Hardwick comes on and says, "Hey, I'm gonna fat my dick on Talking Dead." Yes, Talking Dead. And so then it cuts to that, and then it goes to the final 4 minutes of the episode, and then that ended. And then there was, like, the beginning of Talking Dead, or a commercial. I forget what happened. And then immediately after that, there's a man who approaches the sign that Rick crosses out with the blood, "No Sanctuary." He takes off his mask, and guess who it is? Morgan, he's back. And you know what? It was actually kind of revealed that he would be back, because the new intro for Season 5 had the sign that says "Away with You," which was Morgan's signature, line from Season 3, if you remember, when Rick and Michonne and Carl found him. So I think Scott Gimple did confirm a couple of months ago that Morgan was returning, so it wasn't a huge surprise for me to see him, but to see him as like an Easter egg at the end of the episode, and he's that close, like he's at Terminus, and he's turning around and looking for them, that's pretty cool. I'm really gonna like this. The next episode's gonna have to do with a new character, completely new character, introduced, Father Gabriel. I only know this because I know a little bit. I don't read the comics, but I've seen a little bit of them, and I do know Father Gabriel comes up. My question is, obviously, the leader of Terminus, Gareth, is not dead. I don't know if he got shot at the end there, but I know for a fact he's not dead because in the trailer they say that he teams up and wants to help them cure the disease and blah, 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 blah. And here's my prediction, all right? Gareth is going to track them down. He's going to say, "Hey, I want to join up with you because I have no other purpose in life." And then he's going to backstab somebody and end up killing someone on the Walking Dead team, and everyone's going to be pissed, and Gareth is going to be public enemy number 1. I'm making that prediction right now on this first episode review. I can't confirm it, but I think I have a pretty good hunch as to, you know, what would happen with that. Just kind of those what-if moments, you know. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess Gareth is going to be looking for them. Dude, the show has never done this for an entire infrastructure to be just taken down so quickly. Like, almost every one of Gareth's men slaughtered. Zombies. It's basically here's an example. The prison. Think of the prison. The prison lasted from Season 3. It lasted 1.5 seasons. The entirety of Season 3 and then half of Season 4. Okay, and then it got overrun with walkers from the whole battle with the governor. Terminus lasted 2 episodes. The part of the finale of Season 4 and basically the entirety of Episode 1 of Season 5. And unless we're going back there, I don't know why we would, considering it's a burning, smoldering mess with walkers walking through it. I'm thinking that that's not going to be the case. So, I'm impressed by that. I'm going to give this episode, I'll give it a 9.4 out of 10. Only reason I'm not giving it more towards a perfect score is because, well, first of all, I hate the way AMC does their commercials. I feel like I always bitch about this on my episodes. If you want to hear that, go back to my previous episodes back in the spring of this year when I was reviewing Season 4, and I was just like, oh, because they cut it at the most annoying times. Of course, they want you to watch the commercials. We live in a capitalist society. I shouldn't expect anything less. As much as this is, I don't know how people will agree with this, I kind of wish we knew a bit more about some of these characters. Like that woman, Mary, the one who Carol shot in the leg, the one who was explaining, like, it's almost like a cycle of people terrorizing people at Terminus. I kind of wish we got more screen time with her. Like, she welcomed Glenn and that whole group, and she also welcomed Rick briefly, and I I don't know, I kind of wanted there to be more about her. Like, we're getting more with the leader. Blah, 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 blah. Gareth. I'm going to say it right now because I'm just so overjoyed and I can't say my words. Anyway. Yes, Gareth. We're obviously going to learn more about him. That's pretty much confirmed at this rate, considering he's not dead. But Mary died pretty quickly. I was kind of surprised about that. Only a 3-episode run. Barely any screen time. Not really much character. I mean, obviously the generic soldiers of Terminus, yeah, you can knock them down like bowling pins, but like, they actually gave her a name, and, yeah, I don't know. Even Alex. I mean, Alex died last season, but, you know, they have a flashback with him, and it's like, well, what's the point? He's dead, you know? I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how pertinent the history of Terminus is going to be, because Terminus doesn't exist anymore. It's a big smoldering pile of fucking nothing. So, I have no idea. Maybe you'll learn the history of Terminus through Gareth as he travels with them, and he teams up with them. I don't know. I'm only going off of the trailer. I don't want to spend the whole time speculating, but I gave my review, 9.3. The only complaint I had was that I kind of wish they gave more screen time to some of the Terminus residents before they murdered them completely. But that's a very small gripe. I mean, I can't imagine that's, you know, anything that would, you know, be that big of a deal. So, thank you for watching episode 1. Hope it didn't go too long, even though there's probably a million things to talk about. Probably things I didn't catch. You know, the fact that there was just such guerrilla warfare. Just brutal, just brutality, just a lot of stuff. And you guys watched it, obviously, so you know. You don't want me to recount the whole episode. This is just for me to explain what I liked and didn't. I liked the destruction scenes. Thought there should be a little bit more backstory given to the Terminus people, but I guess that opportunity's lost. I love the introduction of Morgan. I like that the group's all back together, and now Rick's on this badass warpath. And I am waiting for the next episode. Jack will return next week with me. Just we were on a bit of a break for Columbus Day weekend, so we didn't actually get to do this episode together, but next week we will. It's kind of unfortunate. I would have liked the first episode to be the first one where we introduced the new series. You know, it's fall, and, you know, got this whole, 8 episodes they'll do in a row, and then they'll cut at the mid-season in November or December. I kind of wish we had done that, but had that first episode thing, but oh well. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be uploading this as soon as I'm done talking right now, so you should see this the night of. It's 10:30 Eastern Standard Time for me, so this review should be going up momentarily. So stay tuned. I'll post a link on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at the Area Lord. It's spelled the same way as my YouTube name. I'll put a link in the description in case you're interested. And stay tuned for next Sunday when we review the next episode. Thank you guys. See you later.